Watch this if you get tripped up by the STAR method in job interviews. And if you're new here, hey, I'm Tally, and I help you build the communication skills and confidence you need to do better in your job interviews. I know this acronym and system trips people up, so I'm going to give you a simpler way to think about it. But before we get into that, I just want to establish why we have the STAR method in the first place. Having all interviewers use more or less the same framework for answering their questions using the same structure helps standardize the answers a little more. In other words, having a similar structure helps your interviewer be able to compare apples to apples. But I know that the STAR method can really trip people up, so what I suggest instead is to think about it as a form of storytelling. You tell stories all the time, so this is going to come naturally to you. What are 3 things that stories have? A beginning, middle, and an end. So typically in the beginning of the story, you're going to be setting the stage. You're going to be talking about what the problem is and what your role was going to be in the solution. So the beginning of your story maps back to the situation and the task that you are assigned. And in the middle of the story, you usually tell us about what are all the different things that you did, whether the actions you took, who did you work with, how did you try to overcome the problem. This maps back to that action part of STAR. And then at the end of the story, that's when things get really juicy. At the end, you're going to tell us what happened as the result of your efforts, what changed, how did things improve for the better, what are the outcomes that happened, what did you learn, and what was the impact that this had. The ending of your story will map back to the result part of STAR.